Actually, I want to start by thanking Senator James Langford, who you all know is on point for negotiating with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle for the work he's doing, and my colleagues here who are also having discussions trying to get to a good outcome. I also want to thank Border Patrol and Customs agents whose morale is at an all-time low. They know that they're overrun. They're dreading going to work every day because they know they're not going to succeed at their mission. This president could end this crisis right now without a single bill being passed. We know he's not going to do that, but we know it can be done because Trump did. This president also knows that the likely nominee for the Republican Party, and many people think the likely president to be sworn in next January, is Donald J. Trump. He said on his first day he was going to shut down the border, and I think he means it, and I hope that he would. But you know who's listening to that right now? It's the cartels. And if you don't think that they're going to ramp up their advertising and try to double the flows that are already 4 times the Trump-era flows, then you're crazy. And that's exactly why President Trump's willing to go further, because he knows he's already got a political problem, and it's going to get a lot worse. But let's not talk about the politics where he's already losing. Let's talk about the threat. I'll leave you with this, and I really haven't seen much attention paid to this, but the last time I went to the border at about 1 a.m., I stood on the Rio Grande River, right maybe about 5 or 6 feet shy of a fluorescent arrow, with coyotes across the river saying, "We're coming." Now, what they meant by that is they're going to send about 50 people over, so Border Patrol will be engaged so that they can bring fentanyl or illicit materials across the border because we simply don't have enough border agents on patrol. They said, "We are coming." Now, 1.5 million people have crossed the border over the last 2 years that are so-called known gotaways. We know they came here. People don't go back to Mexico once they cross the Rio Grande River. They do everything they can. But these people are paying a premium and going through sectors of the border that they're doing everything they can to avoid Border Patrol. Back to that fluorescent arrow. If they didn't have a bad record, if they weren't somebody who was a threat to the homeland, why on earth would they pay money to go through some of the most dangerous sections of the border to evade apprehension? Why would they do that? Unless they've got a bad history or unless they've got a malign purpose. 1.5 million people, let's assume only 10% do. That's 150,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. So I care about Ukraine homeland security. I care about Israel's homeland security, but it would be immoral for me to put those two ahead of what I think is a clear and present threat to our homeland security.